All the books and courses out there tell you the same thing in different ways. Breathe deeply and try and distract yourself. Think happy thoughts and then wait for the anxiety to pass. Well, let me tell you something. Anyone who has experienced a panic attack or high anxiety knows that deep breathing and distraction is not going to solve the problem. That's like closing the gate after the horse is bolted. It just doesn't work. People are not being given real solutions. All they're getting are band-aids that simply cover over the problem. But that does not mean that there is not a very real solution available. What if I told you there is a very simple technique that you can use to stop a panic attack in 21 seconds flat and reduce general anxiety in 7 minutes? Sounds too good to be true. Well, it really does exist, and if you keep watching this short presentation, I'm going to tell you all about it. My name is Barry McDonough, and as someone who used to experience frequent panic attacks and general anxiety, I can show you a revolutionary way to end your anxiety problem. This almost unheard of technique has gone under the radar of doctors and psychologists for years, and yet one of the world's greatest psychiatrists, Dr. Viktor Frankl, thought it to be the only true cure for panic and anxiety. And no, it's not medication, it's not hypnosis, and it's not NLP or some other strange therapy. It's real psychology with a very unique approach to anxiety elimination. But before I say another word, I want to reassure you that I really do know what I'm talking about. For a start, I bet I can pinpoint exactly where you've been having a problem. Maybe you found yourself in the hospital's ER because you thought you were having a heart attack, only to be told later it was just anxiety. Maybe you fear you might stop breathing because your chest and throat feels tight. Maybe your bodily sensations during a panic attack are so intense you fear passing out. When you drive, do you fear getting stuck in traffic, on a bridge or at red lights? Maybe you feel nervous and afraid you might lose control or go insane in front of others. Or do you struggle with anxious thoughts that will not stop? I know exactly how you feel because I've been there too. And yes, I know you worry that you will always feel this way. Well, you can put that worry to rest right now because you won't. You will not be stuck with an anxiety problem forever. But you know, the hardest thing about all of this is the fact that other people just don't get it. You tell them how terrifying a panic attack is and they think you're exaggerating. You explain about the continuous anxious thoughts you have and they remark, "Hey, I worry too." You tell them that you wake each morning with a sense of dread, and they say, "Oh, come on, who is a morning person?" They simply don't get it. The weekend is coming up and your partner wonders why you won't go out for dinner. They say, "Oh, please, just do it for me." What they don't get is that sometimes you think you will actually die. The fear is so intense, and that your mind is in such a fog, you wouldn't be comfortable for a minute. You really wish they could understand what you are dealing with, and when they don't, you feel even more alone and anxious. Well, I've got 3 things to say about this. The first is that you are okay. Yes, you have an anxiety problem that needs correcting. You wouldn't be watching this now if you didn't. That's why you surf the net looking for answers. That's why you constantly worry if this problem will be with you forever. You worry about the scary bodily sensations and if it's a sign of something more serious. You get a cold jolt of fear at the thought of losing control and getting locked up in some madhouse. I know all of this because I've been there too. I've had the exact same thoughts and fears as you have. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay because all of this is curable. All of the anxiety can be healed, and no, you're not going to lose control or go insane, and no, a panic attack is not going to kill you. It's all okay because you are perfectly safe. Anxiety is not a mental illness. It's a behavioral problem you can quickly correct with the right guidance and information. And remember, nobody dies from a panic attack. Any good doctor will tell you that your body is perfectly able to handle this heightened state of nervous arousal. You are safe. The second thing you need to give up is being so very hard on yourself. Anxiety is such a difficult thing to go through, so give yourself a little space and some compassion. You're not a weak person. This is a real challenge, and you've been so brave up until now. You will in fact become a stronger person because of all this. So stop beating yourself up or feeling ashamed. You are truly brave and you matter to many people. Lastly, you will not be like this forever. Give up feeling like this is something you will always struggle with. I know how terribly frustrating it feels right this very moment, and how hard it is to imagine a brighter future when feeling like this, but trust me, you have one. The good news is that you will win in the end. How do I know this? Well, I've been teaching people how to win over anxiety for the last 10 years, and what I teach gets real results. The people who find me have often been struggling with anxiety for years, and they always say, I wish I found this technique years ago. Well, the good news is you are here now, and what if you are watching this presentation because it has come to you at the right and perfect time for you? What if you're here because you are finally ready to end your anxiety problem? Isn't that an exciting possibility? It was exciting for the thousands of other people who have used my program to end their anxiety. People like stay-at-home moms to police officers, soldiers, and even well-known TV celebrities, all who use my program to end their anxiety problem. And you know, the thing is, it isn't all that hard to do. You just have to take the first step. Let me tell you quickly how it happened for me. I was in my first year of undergraduate studies when I began to experience panic attacks and general anxiety. After months of struggling with anxiety, I became absolutely determined to find a natural solution to the problem. I didn't want to take drugs or see a therapist for fear it meant I really did have a serious mental problem. So I began intensive research into all the different psychological approaches for ending panic and general anxiety. That research turned out to be incredibly frustrating, as every book and course seemed to be recommending the exact same series of coping techniques and exercises, saying things like relax and breathe through it, seek distractions, or wait for the anxiety to pass. All of this was just helping me to cope with the anxiety, not to end it. So I kept searching for a real solution. Something that would finally stop the panic attacks and general anxiety. I began by experimenting with a very counterintuitive approach to stop anxiety. An approach that turned the tables completely, and to my great surprise, it turned out to be incredibly effective. So effective that the looming panic attack stopped immediately. And what's more, over the coming days, my general anxiety level dropped right down. I tested this approach over a few weeks, and each time I got the very same results. I was now able to stop a panic attack within a matter of seconds, and I could bring my general anxiety right down within minutes. This was complete freedom for me. I could now start doing things I was avoiding. I could go out without the fear of an anxiety bomb ticking inside of me. I could travel long distances without the fear of getting stuck someplace far away with anxiety. It was real freedom. I began to formulate the approach into a simple technique that others could use and apply to their lives. I then started teaching it over the internet in 2001, and the results it achieved for people were nothing short of incredible. I had no idea back then what a success this one simple technique would become. And today that technique is known around the world as the 21-7 technique. The program I teach this life-changing technique in is called the Panic Away program and has been sold in over 32 countries worldwide. People from all kinds of backgrounds have used Panic Away to end their anxiety problem, and time again they say the same thing. Why wasn't I told about this years ago? In fact, do you know that in just a few hours of using Panic Away, people report better results than years of therapy and medication? Panic Away is rapid relief for anxiety. So what does that mean for people? Well, it means no more fear of leaving the house in case of a panic attack. No more fear of getting stuck somewhere you can't easily excuse yourself from. No more making excuses why you cannot make it to social engagements. No more putting off holiday plans or business travel. No more fear of getting stuck in traffic or on trains. No more fear of business meetings. No more living